Oh, hey there, guys. What up? Back at ya. Once again, it is your boy, Chin, that freaking Mark. And yeah, I'm sitting down because I had a fucking rough day at work. Alright, let's talk about some mo freaking graps. So, before we get too far into talking about any graps, I would also just like to thank my main dog, Ezra, for letting me borrow this beautiful microphone. And just maybe that's actually the reason that I have this setup going on. Who knows? So, opening up this here night of graps, we have The Miz talking about, well, actually not talking, more like showing us a video recap of how Shane was being a big dick last week. And, at Fastlane, grabbing his dad's face and shit like that. Miz is talking about how he was warned backstage about how Shane's just a bit of a dick. And he's like, nah, I didn't believe it. I knew he was better than that. But you know what? He's actually just a McMahon at the end of the day, isn't he? Brings Kofi into the conversation and gets a nice little pop there. And says, you know what? It's 13 years. I can say with confidence right now that I've earned it. So I've fucking earned it. Let's do this. Mic drop, but honestly it was more like a mic flip. So there you have it. Next up we have ourselves what is definitely going to be the beginning of a rivalry here. It is going to be the Boston Hug Connection versus the Iconics. And as per usual, the Iconics come out and cut themselves a promo, mainly talking about how finally the Boston Hug Connection showed up because, they had to go all the way back to NXT to avoid them or something along those lines. It was just great Iconics heel work. Lacey Evans comes out, and you know what? This was going to be the dick move of the night, but something later in the night that you're already well aware of happened that is well more deserving, but we're going to get around to that. This match was really quick. It basically ended with Peyton Royce pinning Sasha Banks, but Billie Kay was also grabbing Peyton's hand and pushing on Sasha to help with the victory. And that's why I say this is most certainly gonna only be the first in a stream of matches for these two. And I'm all about it. I definitely hope that it ends with the Iconics getting the belts. We then have ourselves the new KO show, the new and improved KO show. But if I'm being honest, I definitely preferred the setup of Kevin Owens having a sign just strapped to some dude's face over all the fancy graphics. But whatever, I'll get over it. Before this segment gets too far, he also puts over Kofi Kingston because that is the theme of the night here. Kevin Owens brings out Becky and Charlotte and is talking about how he is the perfect person to be the mediator between these two because he knows all about how friendships go bad. Almost mildly referencing Chris Jericho for a second there. And he's like, you know what? What I say around here is fight Owens fight. So it needs to be fight Becky fight and fight Charlotte fight. What do you guys say? They get up and Charlotte talks some shit. And Kevin is just like, all right, Becky, before you answer, let me just take a step out of this ring real fast. Rebuttal. And then she punches her in the face and he's like, yeah, that's what I thought was going to happen. And a whole beatdown just occurs. And it's just another classic case of why the fuck does WWE hire the worst security in all the world? We then have Daniel Bryan coming out and just cutting a super heel Daniel Bryan promo as he does anymore. And it was pretty much just talking about how Kofi doesn't deserve any of this that's happening because he was handed it because Mustafa Ali was injured. And that was pretty rude of him to say. But you know what it led into? This ridiculous gauntlet match that everyone's been talking about for the past week here. It's going to start off with Kofi and Sheamus. I thought it was a nice little touch how we have the start of the locker room watching in the back, but it starts off with the New Day and the Usos just eating some pancakes, tossing them around there. Didn't really take too long before it was a trouble in paradise for Kofi to get the first elimination. And you know what? Cesaro just jumps in there next and just literally jumps on Kofi when he's not even looking. Come on, man. He already had the odds stacked up against him. You really did not have to do that. And you know what? A failed neutralizer led into an SOS. We have ourselves 2 eliminations, wouldn't you know it? So Kofi versus Rowan is our next setup here. And right off the bat, I knew things was going to be weird because we have a music change. Rowan was coming out to the Bludgeon Brothers theme, although last week he was coming out to his own theme, which is a far better theme. Far better theme, by far. But it was really confusing because it was just like a beatdown on the outside of the ring there, and Rowan just face slams Kofi through the table, and apparently that was it for Rowan, because he just walked away, and as he was walking away, Samoa Joe's music was already playing. So that was kind of weird. By this point, we have like a quarter of the locker room in the back watching, getting down on this matchup and everything like that. You can pretty much guess how things go here. Samoa Joe is just being that big old heel while Kofi's kind of starting to get worn out. Samoa Joe goes for a muscle buster. I'm pretty sure it's been a while since we've seen him whip one of those out. And roll up. Kofi gets another elimination in there. That's 3 under the belt at this point. Joe, as per usual, gets really mad when he gets eliminated or pinned or anything where he just doesn't win. So he's just like choking Kofi like through the ropes. And it wasn't pretty for Kofi. And then Randy Orton comes out and is basically just manhandling Kofi the entire time. And it was just like, oh my God, Randy. Jesus, man. But it was kind of hilarious because you know what happens? An ultimate wave of karmic justice, for Orton at least, happens here. He goes for the one move that he knows, the RKO, and gets rolled up off of it, and Kofi goes as far as to hold Orton's hand so he can't grab the ropes and shit when he was doing the roll-up, which I thought was a great little touch there, for sure. And yeah, it appeared that Kofi had won, but we can't have our fun, can we? Because guess what happens? Yup. Dick move of the night. Vince McMahon comes out and he's like, congratulations, Kofi. You have to beat Daniel Bryan. Yep, and that's basically what it was. Daniel Bryan came out and just started whooping an ass. It looked like Kofi Kingston was going to get a little bit of hope in there, but nope. Daniel Bryan went back to that move where he just like grabs your arms and stomps on your face at the same time. Always just looks so brutal. And it was some flying knees that just ended this match. Completely let the air out of the arena. It was like quiet as all hell in there at first, followed by booing. So yeah, the people were pissed. And that was an episode of SmackDown with a hell of a gauntlet match attached to it. So, although I am sitting, don't think that's going to change the way that we grade things around here, alright? Check out my ridiculous grading scale. The Shat, yeah. The Crap Graps, The Deece, we remember these things, alright? Not too shabby. And the Happening Graps. Man. Here's the thing, Kofi Kingston's still going to go to WrestleMania. I know they said that he's not, but like, people, calm down. But in terms of outside of the ridiculous gauntlet match that ended in a total boner kill, you know what? Yeah, I've thought about it. Deece. Just Deece. Even though I know Kofi's still gonna go over somehow at the end of all this, just Deece. In comparison to some of the other graps we've been watching. I think that's actually the lowest grade we've had so far, because the graps have been good, but I'm just fucking blabbing over here. Alright, Jesus Christ, I'm gonna shut the fuck up. It has been your boy, Chin, that freaking Mark, taking a seat, alright, using a dope mic from my boy Ezra, and we're just gonna come back to it next time, talking about more graps, maybe using a dope microphone, who the hell knows. Go and check out that new episode of Crap Graps and press the subscribe button if you haven't already. And you know what? Special shout out to Mark Blaine, who subscribed while I was making this video. Yes, I appreciate you, Mark. I will see you guys next time. Deuces.